Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, howdy, howdy from beautiful Texas Motor Speedway for the iRacing IndyCar Open Series here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by Marco Bobanera. And Marco, it's the end of the season. What a better place to end it underneath these beautiful Texas blue skies.
Absolutely, Austin, and hello everyone. The final round of the championship. We are at Texas Motor Speedway, as Austin was saying, and yeah, we still have a few 100 laps and change left to declare the champion of this season, which, unless we get incredible surprises, as you can see right now, should be Adam Blocker. Adam Crane is not here tonight racing, neither is Adriano Pinheiro, so the title should be safely in the bag of Adam Blocker, but of course there's still a lot to play for. And as I said last week, winning the last race of the season is always better, because you win the last one, so you go into the quote-unquote vacations, the week 13 break, with the certainty you have won the last race of the season. And when there is nothing on the line, just the pride of the race victory, drivers are a bit more free in their mind, in my opinion, and they are absolutely, more willing, I think, to put on, an interesting show for us. Let me say a big thank to a very good IndyCar driver that has missed the entirety of the season, but we wish him to have him back in the future. AJ Burton from Team i5G, who I'm told is watching the race. Thank you, AJ, for watching, and hope you and everyone else enjoys this final race of the championship.
Yeah, thank you everybody who's joined us throughout the entire the entire season. It's always great to have dedicated fans, fans of the specific series too, that always show up week in and week out and really enjoy the show that we have here. And you know, IndyCars are always so fun. There's a lot of discussion on should there be a second IndyCar broadcast for a European split. I'm on the boat for yes, because more IndyCars is always better. But as a sole IndyCar broadcaster right now, you know, this is that time of the week that everybody gets ready for IndyCar and you know, excited to make the show.
So, qualifying is over. We have a tie at the top between Rodrigo Franzoni and Robert Maleczka III. We now have just a bit to wait. We have a couple of drivers without a lap time. One of them is Gio Ribeiro here in the number 20 car. He is coming out, so let's see if he has time to put down at least one lap. And Johnny McNamara also without a valid lap time. There is, and I don't think he will have time to put anything on the board. So let's watch Gio with his absolutely unmistakable Brazilian flag colored car. No prizes for guessing where he's from, proudly representing his country. And we also have probably the fastest Brazilian oval IndyCar driver, Marco Aurelio Brasil. He's sitting in 7th place. He was with us only at Auto Club. He scored the pole there, if you remember, Austin, but he couldn't profit from it because he had massive connect. Remember, there was a storm around his hometown at the time of the race. But he will be very happy because his team, Atlético Paranaense, won the Copa Sudamericana of football just last week. So, starting grid for tonight's final race of the season. Rodrigo Franzoni, of course, in the lead for Corinthians Esports in front of Robert Maleczka III, Andrew Marquez and AJ Musselman. Rashad Craig is in 5th in front of Rob Angelnieks, Marco Brasil and Matt Olibaugh. Nice to have him back. Tim Williams and Hugo Olson also did some races with us. Adam Blocker trying to bring home the championship. And Lucas Heinhammer, he will start from 12th place. Going below, we have Zach Michael and Aaron McQuarrie, David Graybill and Jason Wallach, Brian Spots in front of Laura Gerhardt, Alex Van de Zaan, Johnny McNamara and Gio Ribeiro. He will start 21st. Drivers without a valid lap time will be scored based on their oval iRating, and so number 15 car starts in front of number 20. What can we expect from this race tonight, Austin?
Well, Texas is a little bit tricky. The ovals, well, the first part of the ovals a little bit wider and easier to have a lot of fun on. It's wider, easier to make moves. The turns 3 and 4, though, it's a much steeper oval. It's much tighter. That's really going to be the trickiness. The aero push here, dirty air, is going to be very, very... it's going to be very tricky for cars to follow, and they're going to be all over their weight jacker and everything to just keep the cars under them, try to get a good run, heading onto that back straight and search for that clear air around this race. So, you know, it's getting in front of that pack and trying to create a gap to the cars behind you, then focusing on the car ahead. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm ready to get racing.
Austin, how much has the racing changed around here with the new reprofile of the track? Of course, we know in real life this is not the most exciting of places, but because they have that damn compound that basically stains the track. But in a perfect world, you know, from the old layout to this layout, what has changed?
It's changed the ability for the cars to run a lot of different lines and, you know, have a big pack racing because they tightened up one of the turns. They made one of the turns wider. They steepened the angle of the corner. They've done a lot of things to try to make the racing more unpredictable with a much trickier track. And that's kind of dulled down the racing, but you can really get in some interesting fights around here strategy-wise. And it's turned this from a... well, with Indy cars in the old ways, from a outright pace race to a more strategy race, and it's kind of a pack race as well. With well, in real life, it's turned to a pack race with that one line mentality. This one, you can run a lot of different lines, so we're going to be seeing a lot of opportunities around the outside, down onto the inside switchback moves, And, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And thankfully, they don't add any PJ1 to iRacing. If they did, I will throw this computer out of a window.
Oh yes, yeah, it looks like we're ready to go. We have Luca Sainhammer not on the field to take the green flag, but everyone else seems like he's ready to go and race.
Well, pace car is about to pull off. We have 20 cars on this pace lap and getting ready to go. There's pace car pulling off right now. It's time for one last time to go green, green, green here at Texas Motor Speedway for the iRacing IndyCar Series. It's a great start by Frazzoni ahead of Robert as everyone's side by side right behind him. Marquez and Craig and Musselman side by side, left right on board of Marco Brazil. You can see it's just 2 wide, 3 wide for Star Craig. Got onto the bottom of the track, got pushed up a little bit. Here comes Brazil with a great run, trying to hold around the outside of Richard Craig through the tri-oval. And he's being followed by Adam Blocker, current championship leaders. That's a big slide up the track by Tim Williams, who had a great run into turn 1, trying to maximize it. The car just pushed out wide immediately. And it's just a sea of Indy cars right now as they head into turns 3 and 4.
Always interesting when the cars come to the tri-oval, of course, tend to push a bit high there, and sometimes it's a scene of very big crashes. Also this backstretch, Austin, there is not a lot of space to spin safely because the wall is so close. You usually spin on the inside coming out of 2, you hit the wall, and then you bounce back in the middle of the track, which is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous spot to be here, and that's the risk of oval racing too. But yeah, you can easily lose the back end right now. I see one car running that high line. They're going for that high line, get it onto the inside line. We're seeing that right there from Alex Vanderzand with that switchback opportunity, getting onto the inside, heading into turns 3 and 4. That's the main overtaking move that we're going to be seeing. Strategy, go high in turns 1 and 2, get that momentum, swing down low on the back straight, and we'll snipe him as, around the outside, Hugo Olsen, where did he come from?
And now he's trying to get past Matt Olibo, so massive push from the Stockholm-based driver, and he gets up into 6th place. Fantastic stuff, as in front of them AJ Musselman is putting Andrew Marquez under big pressure. Rob Angelniak's having the best race of his season, I think, so far, and Robert Mareczka in 2nd, but Rodrigo Franzoni is having a fantastic start of the race, already pulling away from the pack.
And behind, we saw Marquez make that move on Oglenex for 3rd place in the background, as Matt Hollabaugh on the outside is holding it right there ahead of Marco Brazil. You see Marco and Matt both going on that high line. They're chasing down the number 3 of Hugo and trying to get a run. That's a big traffic incident right there.
And here comes
as
Andrew.
Marquez once more on Robert Malakazes the 3rd. Andrew Marquez sitting in 2nd place now, as he's got a little 3-car train right behind him. They're both going up high. Robert and Andrew following as Rob goes down low and trying to outpace Robert on the outside line. But that outside line is going to have a lot higher space out there, higher speed. So Robert the 3rd going to go back into 3rd. And Robert, the current number 1 driver in oval iRating in this race.
Musselman being passed by Olson. Olson is on a tear right now, together with Marquez. They are the 2 fastest cars on the track, but Musselman is actually trying to regain the spots he lost at, Ugo. Ugo's gaining 4 places, apologies, and Van de Zandt plus 8. Still no sign from Luca Sainhammer. Unfortunately, I think he had to miss the start for some reason. As they go 3 wide there at the back, Matt Oliver also involved in this. As you know, the cars are trying to go 3 wide, but and then single file, but some drivers, Marco Brazil, incredibly aggressive, going down the inside. You can see AJ in front of him and Matt Oliver behind him. Well, you can't see him now because he's trying to pass him.
Yeah, he's on the outside right there. Matt going way high heading into turns 1 and 2. If you did that in real life, you'd be spinning around and probably in the wall right now. You can see behind him, Adam Blocker getting caught up behind Tim Williams and decided to go down to the inside. Tim on that outside line, the much steeper and tighter bank. And we got a spinner. That's Van der Zandt through the tri-oval.
Is he going to be okay?
Oh, he's going to be fine right there.
Is
He's
the car
getting back
okay?
up to speed. Oh, the car looks like you just got loose on the back end, but no yellow flags. They keep it green right here. Let's get a replay of what's happened. I feel like, he might have got hit by Tim, and he took a big hit to the coming onto the grass. So I'm not expecting any damage from that, but you know the car did get a little bit airborne.
So we were flirting with our first caution of the night, but that didn't come to fruition as Tim is, despite everything, very aggressive.
Yeah, Adam Blocker and Tim Williams almost had a moment right there. Different lines, different speeds. Tim had to back off right there, or else him and Adam Blocker would be making a Christmas tree ornament right now full of carbon fiber. As he is following AJ and Adam Blocker ahead of him, currently sitting in 10th place. See AJ staying in that lower line and letting Adam Blocker get ahead as they go through turns 3 and 4. And it's always great seeing IndyCars here at Texas ever since that unfortunate race where they had to stop as Robert Frazzoni is having an issue, and Rodrigo is being reported as down to 18th.
Connection trouble for our race leader.
It says he's on track.
No, he's not. See?
He's not? Yes. He's just been dropped.
Oh, man.
That's a sudden.
Incredible.
That is a sudden loss of connection right there. So now we're looking at the fight for the lead between Robert III and Andrew Marquez. And Rob Ungelnex is back there as well. And yeah, that is the most unfortunate time to lose power, lose connection, and have a hardware issue right there. And, you know, it's when you're leading the race and you're pulling away. But now we got a side-by-side fight for the lead here at Texas. As Robert Malek is the third up there in the lead here at Texas.
Big shout out to James Pinsker, who's watching us in the chat and enjoying the show, as Rodrigo has only just now gotten back to the pits and he crashed, so maybe he had a sim freeze or something and he lost control of the car and he disappeared for everyone. So yeah, we had Marco Brazil with the pole in Auto Club, and then connection issues struck with him and then cost him the race. And the same now happens to the other Brazilian driver as we go side by side for the lead again. Marquez and Maleska, but Olson and Angelnieks waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Marquez taking that lower line. Robert taking that higher line. That higher line, he can definitely carry the speed down the back straight. But if you really tackle that inside line, you can overpace them right there. As Hugo Olson, we saw this last time, where he could get a big run up through turns 3 and 4. It's not going to happen again, but you know, Hugo, I think he's practicing for that move once more, where he's stormed past 2 drivers through turns 1 and 2 and heading onto the back straight for a double overtake. Hugo is definitely leaning towards that opportunity again, as they're going to go side by side across the line once more. Marquez and Robert Malmsted III. Robert on the outside, Marquez on the inside. Marquez outpacing Robert this time. He's cleared him by 2 car lengths now. But look at the speed advantage by Robert Malmsted, heading behind Marquez, heading into turns 3 and 4, staying on that outside line, staying in that clean air, making sure he's not pressuring those tires into torturous temperatures right there and keeping them in that window and in clean air. As here comes Robert once more on the outside. Track temperature is 112 degrees here in Texas. And the air temperature is 71. Down to the inside dives Robert Malmsted. Gets a great run on the back straight.
Caution!
And caution is out. Spin! It's Brazil.
More than a spin, I'm afraid, Austin.
Yeah, side pod damage right there. left side contact.
Oof.
Back left wheel is off. Side pod is off. Looks like it gets out to the
got
wall.
into the wall.
Taps the wall. It comes. Oh, he almost hits Rashard Craig down there, and it was just him. He tapped the wall, and that is the most unfortunate. Well, it's fortunate for Adam Blocker, Rashard Craig. Look how close he gets to Rashard Craig. Sees that he's down there, and just the car spins right ahead of the champion leader, Adam Blocker. And that is some heads-up driving right there by everybody to avoid that. First caution of the night, and let's ride on board of Adam Blocker.
This is the previous lap, as you can see, as everyone is pitting, by the way. The caution already happened here. So, apologies. But we need to cut away because everyone is in, Austin.
Yeah, everybody is in the pit lane. Rodrigo Frazzoni joins us in chat with a capital F. Sorry to hear about the incident, Rodrigo. But hopefully next season's finale and the rest of the races this week go a lot better. Race off pit road. Hugo Olsen, Adam Blocker storming out of their pits, but it's going to be Robert Malgza leading them off pit road, followed by Marquez, Olsen, Ungle next, Blocker, Hollabout, Williams, Craig, Willett, and AJ Musselman in 10th place.
I will always maintain this Matt Olivo livery reminds me of the Dan Gurney All-American Racers livery from the mid-90s.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Very nice car, and I love it.
So, we have 3 cars out. Lucas Heinkammer, of course, he missed the start and never showed up again, so I would suspect some technical troubles for him. Technical troubles for Alfredo Rodrigo, who's in the chat. And Marco Brasil, 2 starts for him this season, and neither of them has been particularly lucky.
Yeah, Brazil, the luck's not been on his side, and with that incident getting loose and getting into the wall, just shows on how loose a car can get throughout a run coming out of turns 1 and 2 if you are on the top end, if you're pushing a lot. As looking through the field right now, 25 laps out of 133. And, well, first stops are in the books.
Yes, they are. I love this this caution catch fence. They are not as cool in the day as they are in the night, but they are still cool nonetheless.
Yeah, the nighttime lighting here at Texas is absolutely amazing. You know, I do like the lights on the catch fence. It does give it a little bit of a show element to it, and you know, I'm a showy guy. I like that.
You know, it gives the kind of a dance club vibe, you know.
Except for EDM beats, you're getting just pure adrenaline engines.
I mean, I still think that the coolest thing is the caution cactus at Phoenix, but that's another story. Which we missed, of course, because we raced there a few weeks before they released the new track. By the way, the new Watkins Glen is coming out in the next build.
Yeah, Watkins Glen, expect to see that on the IndyCar calendar next season. On iRacing, not in real life, though it should be in real life. I know a lot of fans over at Watkins Glen miss their IndyCar action, as so do I. But yeah, as we come across that front straight, looking at the disco caution lights as they all go out, as we are 1 lap to go here under caution.
Couple of drivers pitting out of sequence. One of them is Alex van der Zandt, of course. And
Zach Michael.
And Zach Michael, yes, there they are. The orange and blue car of Zach Michael and van der Zandt, who takes a pit. I think Alex's car should be okay after that collision we saw earlier. And now we see the restart, so single file start, of course. Let's see, because Maleska, Marquez, Angelniec and Olson, but also Blocker, they showed fantastic pace in the first stint. And Blocker has quietly but very steadily gone up the ranks and is now I think, one of the possible contenders for the race win. There is a lot of uncertainty over this race, so many drivers that can win, that's what we like, and there is still a lot of laps left.
Absolutely, we got a lot of laps left and fresh tires as well. On a hot track, everyone's going to be starting in single file, so I can tell you one thing: when this goes green, we're going to be seeing drivers immediately go for the outside line, heading into turns 1 and 2 and try to get a better run on the car ahead of them. The momentum's not going to be built up right now as we go back to green flag racing here under Robert Melch's lead. I think it's a great jump on the rest of the field.
Yes, but is it going to be engulfed by the other cars as they go on the backstretch?
Oh, we got a spin immediately. It's Hugo Olslin. No, it's Rob Unglenex.
It's
Rob that spun it.
I have no idea how they all survived that.
Rob somehow saved it, though, but he tore up his tires a lot. Big lockup right there, and that is unfortunate. You know, tires not up to temperature, heading into turns 1 and 2. Dirty air, everything. Probably had the weight jacker, forgot to reset it after going on to his pits, and you know, this car became out of balance right there. But luckily, everybody is still running green flag, as Adam Blocker benefited the most right there as he chases down Hugo Olslin.
Another lap in the books then, lap 29 of 133. You see Brazil coming out to the pits on the bottom left of your screen, side by side for the lead between Maleska and Marquez.
Yeah, Marquez took that tighter line on the inside as Marquez stays on the outside line for that better run. Here comes Andrew Marquez. He's going to try that outside line if Robert doesn't defend using that as well. And it's kind of like NASCAR racing at Auto Club this week with everyone taking that higher line. You use the inside line for overtaking, you use the higher line for defending. Andrew Marquez defends right there, gets up ahead and covers off the nose of Robert Malcza. And now Marquez had that higher line, but Robert with that more speed, able to get the switchback heading into turns 3 and 4. And this is going to be a great battle between them for this stint. Marquez diving back down low again, heading into wide turns 1 and 2. But here comes Robert off the exit. Watch down low, Marquez, because here comes Robert once more. And it's a big run battle right now here in Texas. Attack down low, defend up high into turns 1, then turns 3 and 4, it's attack down low and don't go up high because it's a much tighter line and you don't have the space to really gain that momentum. Marquez can defend down low right there if he wants to not have that again, but caution is backed out. Here's second time.
Is Gio Ribeiro, another Brazilian driver in big trouble.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
The Brazilian driver's night tonight.
It has, and I feel. Oh, there's contact with Van der Zandt right there.
So something
and it feels like he just got loose coming out of turns 1 and 2. Had to check up right there, and Van der Zandt got him in the back. Here is that fight. Van der Zandt goes down low. Gilles is up high. Gilles gets a better run. Back end goes out, and Van der Zandt just unfortunately was right there. Gives him a tap. And Van der Zandt again going to have to go into the pits to fix that. You just see the back end going out, and as the iRacing damage goes, give him that wheel back.
There's only one way to know this, just to go back live and see.
Yeah. Somehow Gilles riding that, and no.
No.
No. Is that wheel hovering in midair for you?
No, I just see it bouncing on the ground, but this is going to be big trouble, of course. Oliver Ongelnieks, Gerard McQuarrie, Graybill, Spots, Michael McNamara, and we have Gio Ribeiro trying to get to the pits, but that's going to be a tricky proposition.
Do I have a screenshot for you?
Okay. So on Austin's screen we have an X-Files episode going on, but I can assure that the viewers saw something a lot more reasonable.
Realistic.
Yeah, and so who didn't stop is everyone from 1st down to 8th.
Yeah, this is going to be putting on older tires, but these tires are up to temperature, and it's not that more worn tires. It's just 10-lap newer tires. So what we saw on the restart, we're going to be seeing a lot more newer tires get a little bit loose if they're not up to temperature. The front cars, they're up to temperature right there. That's going to give them opportunity. Van der Zandt and Gilles are going to be, hurting from that because they're going to have to take bigger pairs. Van der Zandt, wing replacement, and a, loose wheel fix, as Gilles is going to be in the pits for a lot longer. Van der Zandt comes out of the pit lane and will be joining at the back of the pack, and I believe on the same lap.
Yeah, but how did they fix that damage so quickly?
I believe on his screen the wheel did not leave for him.
Okay. Well, good for Alex, I would say, but I'm afraid for Gio, the problem is going to be a bit bigger. Yeah, we can see a nice cross-section of his car. Johnny McNamara also in to get some extra fuel in the car. And let's see, but you should be, you're right, I think Alex is on the same lap as everyone else. We will save the confirmation in a second. And
that is a work of a pit crew right there. These iRacing pit crew boys, they practice day in and day out, and it's just an absolute beauty of a thing to see. I think Alex might have been surprised to be like, wait, I only had to wait that long?
And they are always there for you. Every time of the day, no matter how many times you destroy the car.
And they never yell at you.
Yeah. They might occasionally cough, but...
Yes. And if you're like me, you just sit in iRacing testing sessions or just practice sessions and you just forget you're in there. You go open up a different window or something, you just hear a cough in the background. It sometimes freaks you out.
And the birds chirping, which, very relaxing, I have to say. Not a lot of birds chirping here because we have a massive crowd that can be heard. And we have AJ Musselman and I think that's Marco Brazil heading for pit road.
It is. And Van der Zandt heads into the pits again. Get some more damage repaired or has to serve a penalty.
Which you can't clear under yellow, so I would exclude that proposition. Mr. Texas Oval Racing Guru. I love you, Austin.
Texas Oval Racing Guru.
You are Texan. You like IndyCar.
Yes.
I love you, Austin.
Did he actually? Yeah, he just stopped for 3 seconds.
Maybe an extra bit of fuel, anything you can get in the car, you are last, no? Right?
Yes.
It can help you later down the road.
Yes.
A bit of traffic there at the back, cars trying to slot into the correct position, and Gio Ribeiro has come out of his pit stall and then towed back in, so I think that car isn't going anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not good. He tried doing a rolling test. Lights are out on the pace car. Everyone's lining up on top. And Robert slowly making his way up there. Doesn't want to join the party up there. And, he had a great launch when this pace car went in. Had half a second heading into turn 1. Let's see if he can do it again as we go back to green here at Texas. Good jump by him, but that dirty air and that draft is really going to be helping Marquez. Marquez going high. The momentum's not built up on this lap yet, so it's not going to be benefiting him. And Hugo Olsen just slot down the inside and slid up there into second place. When the momentum gets high, that's when that upper line gets really good, but you can see Olsen right on the gearbox right now of Robert. And you can see everyone's going down low. Marquez going back down low on Olsen, and Blocker is there with him as well. Blocker going up high, getting into Olsen's draft. Marquez up into second place, looking for the lead right now, going down low. And he gets his nose chopped off right there as he slides ahead of Olsen, and back end kicked out just slightly right there. Car's getting very affected by dirty air. Robert going high this time to defend from Marquez. Marquez with that down low line gets ahead of Robert this time, but Robert round the outside, able to carry that momentum. And now that outside line is going to be the line of advantage heading through turns 1 and 2 onto the backstretch.
So keep an eye on Matt Olibo. He's the leader of the cars that stopped in this caution.
It's a very close 5-car pack right here up in the lead. Marquez going down low once more. Robert Mounts of the third, staying up high. Marquez has got a nose in there, so Robert's going to have to stay that high line, and Marquez is going to take the lead here at Texas on lap 40, heading into lap 41.
Adam Blocker on board with him, already thinking about adding another digit to that counter there at the bottom.
Yeah, and adding another ring to both his hands. Championship rings, even though in iRacing you don't get a championship ring. A little bit of smoke through turns 3 and 4. We got a car entering the pits, and not sure who that was.
That was Gil Ribeiro getting back to the pits.
Gil got his car back running, did a lap. Not happy about it, so brought it back into the pit lane, and I think that'll be Gilles' day.
Yeah, unfortunately. So unlucky for the Brazilian drivers. All 3 of them are basically out of contention. The only one still running is Marco Brasil, even though Gil is back out once again, I'm told.
Is Gilles just running on that apron? Just running on the apron, getting the car repaired, and just slowly doing it over and over again.
That's what you do in rookie, no? To get safety rating, right on the apron.
I don't think SR is the game plan right here. I think it's all about participation or just like never wanting out of the fight. So Gilles trying to keep spots or just try to stay in the race any way he can. Gets passed by Brazil. He becomes the top Brazilian driver. He's right on board of Jason Willett behind of Adam Blocker. Zach Michael and David Gabriel.
So Van der Zandt.
Side fight. Van der Zandt, who has, I think scared his pit crew and supporters more times than anyone today, as Brian Spots goes around the outside. And Van der Zandt takes him onto the inside. Tried the outside line rounds 3 and 4, but Van der Zandt was right there, unable to go down low, but here comes Brian Spots. And that Droud's got a good run and decided to lift off and let Van der Zandt go.
Can I say, something about Alex? Because after a very good first part of the season, Alex had a bit of a, can I say, disappointing second half of the season. Fantastic drivers nonetheless, but there was a dip in performance from Alex in the second half of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, you do get those type of things. You do get into season slumps throughout a season, and I think he might have fallen into a season slump, but has really come back into it after round 9 is when he started getting back. But like after round 4, he did seem a little bit I don't know the word, beaten down, off his pace.
Especially because we know Alex has showed us some fantastic stuff during the first half of the season. So that's why we are a bit puzzled. But it's racing, it happens, and now you have a couple of weeks to rest, do some demolition derby in week 13, and come back fresh for next season.
Absolutely. Next season's looking very good. I'm very excited for what is coming all next season. New tracks, new track rescans. So I don't expect these IndyCars to be going around Knock Hill anytime soon. But I'm pretty sure some crazy people might try to realize that they won't fit around there.
Some people, like Austin, of course, when the new build drops.
I will never do something like that.
You see Rashad Craig.
Maybe I might try.
Has a nice seat in the house as he's looking at Matt Olibo and Jason Wallet going at it. Oh, Matt with a little bit of a slight job, but he had such a slow exit. But still, he was able to defend the position. But here, look at that. They slow down each other so much. Here comes Rashad.
Yeah, Rashad Craig holding that inside line, getting that draft on Matt. Matt on those newer tires. Already having a little bit of a moment right there. As here goes Matt on that outside line. Dirty air might have affected him last time. He's in clean air right now and see those new tires to work. For Matt, able to hold around the outside and clear Rashad Craig as Rob Ungle next. And he's defending off of Aaron McQuarrie behind him as Aaron's also on those new tires. But look at Rob. Rob's got a great run. He's got Craig on his inside. And Jason ahead of him has got to have to lift off right there because his outside line was blocked. The inside line was open and let off the gas. Go on to the inside and choose your fight for another time as we head into lap 54 here at Texas.
And Andrew Marquez has been able to repel all the attacks from Robert, and now it's been a few laps that we haven't seen an attack from Robert, which granted, Robert is basically glued to his rear end. But showing that, of course, the more you go into the run, Austin, the more the dirty air really affects you.
Yeah, and the more different lines you got to go because, as I was saying, the dirty air is really going to be affecting your car through turns 3 and 4. If you want to get out of the line, save those tires from having a little bit of slide and forcing mechanical grip over air grip. That's why we're seeing Rob run that outside line. Stay in that clean air and not slide up the tires that much. We see this all the time with NASCAR Cup cars riding that top line at Auto Club Motor Speedway. May that giant oval rest in peace as it gets changed into a short track in the LA area, just like a certain football stadium.
And Austin, let me tell you, Tim Williams, +5 on his starting position, and after the scary encounter he had with Alex in the beginning of the race, really picked himself up, and now he's looking good for a possible top 5, maybe even more than that, even though Adam Blocker is looking very aggressive. Oh man!
Oh, if that tri-oval was a little bit earlier, Adam Blocker and Tim Williams, I've already said that it might become a Christmas ornament together if they had that incident. Well, it is true. They almost added another one with each other again.
A massive pack of cars here with McQuarrie, Gerhardt, Michael, Spots, Van de Zandt spitting maybe.
Pit lane.
Maybe either. I think Alex feels that car is not 100% after the big hit he had earlier,
Yeah, big hit, airborne. Might not feel like it's 100%, or this might be on strategy. Or he just has that sixth sense something might happen very soon, and he can jump everybody in the pit lane. But, I don't think this is going to be a... yeah, he's definitely in the pits longer than he is, and I feel like that's going to be Alex's race as he is over the damage time, and he's going to be put a lap down right about now.
No, he's already 2 laps down. This time by... Yes.
Blink and you miss it.
It's a short lap around here,
Yeah, 24 seconds. Time it processes mean to actually make a sentence.
Laura Gerhardt and Aaron McQuarrie as Laura is looking to pass the orange number 12 of Aaron. But so far, Laura +7 by the way, not the biggest mover, that's +9 Jason Wallett.
And Adam Blocker. Oh no, it is. Laura Gerhardt currently tied with Hugo Olsen and Adam Blocker on +7, but yeah. Jason Willett up 9 spots, sitting in 7th place. Laura, she's looking down the inside of Aaron McQuarrie as Zach Michael and Brian Spots are in a good little battle. Brian going down low, able to get into 12th place as Aaron and Laura are side by side. Laura going for 10th place, holding that inside line. Aaron with that outside line. Both of them on those new sets of tires that they put on a lap 33. They race into turns 3 and 4. Laura staying on that inside line. Aaron going high into turns 3 and 4. We don't usually see that for most of these drivers, but he's going to get a great run on Laura. And he has to check up right there. That run is too fast, but the turn is too late for Aaron to really try and move down the inside or around the outside. It's going to really hurt his line as Lord Gerhardt gets the front of Marco Brazil, who is way off the pace.
Yes, 5 laps down and also blinking a bit, which is never fun for you and for the other drivers. And now Hugo Olsson is looking like he could threaten Robert Maleshka III second place. And who knows, maybe go up and threaten Andrew Marquez, but of course first you have to pass Robert, which is easier said than done. And still, Robert is very close to Andrew, so you know, nothing is set in stone in my opinion for the victory. But they pulled away, all 3 of them, from Adam and Tim and the rest of the crew there back in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and so on and so forth. So these 3 drivers clearly with a little bit more, you know, in their cars tonight so far.
Yeah, Hugo Osselin, he's taking that bottom line because Robert's taking that higher line, staying in that clean air. And the more he does that, the more he's actually gaining on Robert throughout the corner. And, you know, Robert's actually starting to fall away from Andrew Marquez because Marquez, while taking that inside line, is gaining time throughout the corner. And the run that Robert's getting is not going to be draft affected right here. And, you know, he's going to be losing more time by running on the outside line. But he is saving more of his tires. But, you know, tires can only bring you so far if you can't really use them throughout the corner. And Hugo Osselin gets onto the inside right there. Robert is going to have no answer to that as Osselin jumps up into second place.
Nice move. Let's see first if he can keep the position, and second if he can go and close the gap to Andrew. So interesting change for second place. Hugo's been consistently fast all throughout this race, as we have gone past the halfway point of the race. Marquez from Olsson from Maleshka, Blocker and Williams, your top 5. A great battle here with Rashad Craig and Tim Williams.
Right on board of Rashad Craig. Looking for that 5th place, opting for that outside line. Get that cleaner air onto your wing, then gets right back into Tim Williams. Brad's looking for that run heading into the trial hole. He's alongside of him, and he's going to go for that higher line. Tim can drift up high and take away that advantage for Craig. Yeah, Craig got wafted in there. It stayed tight, and Tim's line really hurt him.
Another fight between Angelnieks and Gerhardt. Then we have McQuarrie and Zach Michael here. But let's stay on this because Shad and Tim are really fighting hard for this 5th place. Still side by side.
And we should be expecting pits very soon. Green flag pit stops by our leaders who went into the pits on lap 23. Now, they did have that caution in the middle of it on lap 10, so I expect that caution to give them a few more laps on the tires, a few more laps in the fuel tank as well. But I'm expecting them to start playing and head into the pits very soon. Around lap 80 is when I'm expecting them.
And you know how it works, right? Every time we mention the green flag stops, the caution comes out. So.
Well, last time I did it, the caution never came out. So I feel like I'm on a roll here, and I want to keep it that way, end the season off of a bang.
Of course, we love excitement, and you know, there's both excitement in you know, restarts and green flags and you know, short green flag runs, especially towards the end of the day. But I also love the drama of a fuel race or even just a strategy race with green flag stops. You can never go wrong with oval racing, let's be honest. There's always something to look forward to.
I like to break the oval race up into stages, add a playoff system, put PJ1 all over a track, and call it a fair competition. And, you know, make the championships fair. I could go on. Do you want me to stop?
Jason Wallet
That's why-
on board with him. Yes, Austin?
That's why IndyCar's better.
I was trying to save you from, you know, potentially not getting a job with the Coke series, but
I burned that bridge a long time ago.
Jason being passed by Laura there. So now down to 9th position, as Brian and Rob are also having an argument over 10th place. Gap at the front is Alpha second between Marquez and Olson. And let's see, of course, the guys from 1st down to 6th have stopped 10 laps before Matt and Laura, and some of the others have stopped, of course, on lap 33, so we can expect these guys in a little bit earlier. So let's keep an eye on them and see when they head for pit road. As Adam is attacking Robert for the final spot on the podium.
Yeah, blocker down the inside, gets a good run, up, goes up high, and able to slide in there for 3rd as the 9-time IndyCar champion, looking to make that a 10th championship, and he's pretty much sealed the deal right there. So Adam Blocker just needs a good finish and finish on the podium right here in Texas. We'll do that for Adam Blocker.
You know, we didn't have a lot of European drivers, as Marquez adds for the pits. We didn't have a lot of European drivers, and because of the time slot, of course, and of course we had no European victories this season. Ugo looking to change that.
Yeah, Hugo looking to change that as well. Not all the victories, though, were dominated by Americans. Pinheiro, the Brazilian.
Yeah, I meant America as, you know, North and South America.
Okay,
sorry, Austin.
constantly.
I should have been more clear. It's easy to get confused.
Yes, it's easy.
Tim Williams.
Tim Williams storming into the pits, gets off into the grass, big lockup. Yeah,
that
I
might
think
be a
that might
penalty.
be.
He crossed the white line on the right.
Yeah, crossed the white line. The double lockup, sped into the pits. Tim might be held for a little bit right there. Jason's going to get a free spot from that. Tim Williams, we're going to be seeing on how much he's going to get stopped.
Let's see, maybe he got away, but when you cross the line...
Here's the penalty.
Yeah,
here's the penalty right here.
When you cross the line on the grass, it's a big problem.
And AJ heads into the pit lane. Robert attacking out a blocker. Blocker defending hard. And Robert.
Oh.
That's a late commitment by Robert right there. Locked up. I think he's safe. And also Richard Craig raced him into the pits as well. Richard, I think, didn't have as much late confusion as then. I think that's what might have caused Robert to hesitate right there, as Marquez is back out ahead. Was that Hugo Austin?
No, Hugo is still...
No, that is Aaron McQuarrie.
Yeah.
As there is our number 1 car, Richard Craig, trying to race them out of pit road. Oh, yeah, we're going to have a pit road exit race very soon. As here's Marquez getting past those two.
Here comes Rob Angelnieks, but let's focus on Hugo Olson, who's having the time of his life.
Really,
Here comes
he
Rocket,
really
by the way.
played that fuel. He played that fuel game very well. He knew when to save, and while he was behind everybody, he was really saving that fuel and extending the life of his tank. But also, we have those drivers that went into the pits on lap 33, so they're going to be on a better run. And you know, if a caution comes out right here, that's going to be putting a lot of cars a lap down.
Yes, we only have 6 cars on the lead lap as of this moment. Here comes Matt Olibo.
Matt heading into the pits. Hugo still out there, heading onto turns 3 and 4. Here comes Hugo.
Whee!
Late take, run. He ran that bottom line. Don't want to cross that heading into the pit lane unless you want to take a trip to the spin doctor. As Laura Gerhardt, she takes the lead here at Texas.
Laura, together with Brian and others, stopped on lap 33, so they have a little bit more autonomy in their car. Here comes Marquez. He's on the backstretch. Olson is out of the pizza. Marquez is heading into turn 4. Laura Gerhardt and Brian Spots are both in. Where's Marquez? Marquez, there we go. Into turn 2. This is going to be close. And Hugo, no, it's not close. Wow.
Whoa.
So despite pitting 7 laps later than Marquez, Hugo protects from the undercut brilliantly.
Yeah, his run really made it work, staying out there a little bit longer, and I feel like the pit in might have been the better pit in than Marquez. But Hugo Olsland, he really knows how to keep that car alive and make it fly on light fuel. So the setup might have helped right there, but whatever Hugo was doing, he was doing it right. As there goes Zach Michael into the pits, and Hugo Olsland back into the lead here on lap 88.
So now he has the fresher tires, and he's in first. It's a very, very good position to be right now.
And a very good position fuel-wise. He will make it, if it stays green, he will make it to the end of this race on fuel. Now, it's averaged about 50 laps of flat-out pushing that you can do in these Indy cars without tampering with a little bit of fuel numbers right there. And he just makes that by 2 laps. He went in on lap 85. So lap 83 and later is good. But before lap 83, you're going to have to do some fuel saving and lifting and coasting, as that's a slide down low. And how did he save that? It wasn't Andrew Marquez.
No, but it was a similarly levered car.
It was David. Great bill.
Just as we were looking at Lucas Einkammer, who has suddenly come to life. He's 25 laps down, but he's getting some points and some overtakes to the car that I've retired. So good for him. But how close were we to the caution there, Austin?
Oh, really close, and really close for some drivers opting to go into the pits again. But yeah, as I'm saying, drivers that went into the pits before lap 83, that's a car in the grass. That's Rob into the pit lane, and that is a wheel off. And since he's in the pit lane and had an incident, he's going to try to stop in his pit. Did he actually stop in his pit box like that? Well, that's what we call a unplanned pit stop. Nope, he's driving backward. Is he trying to find his pit box?
I'm imagining the drivers telling him to tow because, you know, he is, you know, we never know with the iRacing caution trigger system, but you don't want to trigger a caution unless you want the entire room to revolt.
He actually just did a 3-point turn, drove backwards through the tri-oval.
Caution.
And a caution is out, but not for this. Robert Malgza the third is in the wall.
One of the protagonists of the race, Austin.
Oh no.
Oh,
it was contact with
Zach, I think, yes.
Zach Michael. Zach Michael had the run, got into the back of him, and was pitchforked up into the air, and he didn't want to get out of the way or lift, and Zach just ran him over right there. And I can tell you the finger pointing is in the air right now. He can say that Robert didn't leave him in the space. He knew that he was there, and Robert could have said you just didn't lift. You weren't expecting to get back up there. But that is a big hurt right there for Robert Malgza III.
He was one of the faster cars out there tonight, Austin.
And Hugo Olsen stayed out, but Marquez, Blocker, Craig, and Hobble head into the pit lane with Laura Gerhardt. And Zach had an amazing run on him.
The problem, I think, and I don't want to be mistaken here, is that I think Zach was 1 lap down.
Yes, he was.
So maybe some misunderstanding there, but you are right. Brian Spots also is staying out. He stopped 1 lap later than Hugo. But yes, everyone else is in of the lead pack on the lead lap.
That's close. That's close.
Very,
it's going to be Marquez winning the race off there. And, you know, Hugo, he went into the pits on lap 85. We saw this with drivers 10 laps into there. You know, this kind of throws away the tension we had with who has enough fuel to win the race. Everybody has enough fuel now. 9 cars on the lead lap. Hugo Oslin went to the pits 10 laps ago. Brian Spots 9 laps ago. And then everyone else went into the pits now. And track position on these tires is going to be very important. But we saw with the cars that had the newer tires on the last restart, they didn't lose that much time to the drivers on the newer tires. So Hugo Olsen and Brian Spots could still be in the lead if they can hold off, because they're on the worn tires as we get another replay of that horrible crash to Robert. Hindsight could go 50-50. He could have left a little bit of space on the outside, and Zach could have lifted and not.
It's like they teach you when you start iRacing, instead of blaming always the others.
Yes.
If you look at the replay, you will always see that there was always something you could have done differently, which doesn't mean that it's Robert's fault or it is Zach's fault. Exactly. It's just and of course, when we are from here, we always have, even from up here, we have a skewed perspective, because when you are in the car, you see things a lot differently, So
you get tunnel vision there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You see many things that happen, and it's sad that because we had especially both drivers with trouble, but Zach, I think, can continue. Not the same for Robert, who was one of the faster cars out there. That doesn't mean that if you're not fast, you should retire, or contraire. But certainly we lose one of the protagonists of the race. But this caution makes things interesting. Now we saw Hugo being very good at fuel and tire conservation during the first half of the race. Can he do the same? He will have 10 lap older tires than the rest of the field, and apart from Brian, who is sitting in second, and again he stopped 1 lap later. So that's Aaron, who's a lap down. Is the lap down cars, I think, that are pitting. Don't get no, sorry, they are he's on the lead lap. Both of them are on the lead lap. My apologies.
Yeah, John and
No, they are 1 lap down. See, I'm not completely stupid. Apologies to the viewers for the confusion.
Yeah, the lap down car is going to the pits a little bit later, and they're just going back there to get out of the way of everyone who is on the lead lap behind them, and they don't want to get in the way of that fight. And now it's Hugo and Brian. They'll be leading off this fight. Andrew Marquez being the first runner on those new tires, and so are the 7 other cars on the lead lap on those new tires as well. Olsen Spots playing the gambling game here in Texas. Don't tell authorities, because gambling is still illegal here. But we do love our Texas poker, and so Olsen and Spots playing a little bit of Texas Hold'em, and they're going to be holding on to those tires and that tank of fuel to the end of this race. They go high heading into turns 3 and 4, entering the massive grandstands here that goes end to end from the start of the trial to the end of the trial, as our pace car pulls off right here on lap 97. So we head into lap 98 as we go back to green flag racing. Also in good jump spots right behind with Marquez and Blocker on those fresher tires, getting a run as well. And this is going to be a, the tire game and the positioning game. You see Hugo already snaking. The caution is back out as, was that Rob? Oh, is Vanderzant again having an issue? See Vanderzant, and the car ahead was leaving on the straight. Was that Graybill?
No, it was Lucas.
It was Lucas. Well, that's a unfortunate moment for iCamera. It seemed like the car was sliding through turns 1 and 2, like it just wasn't set down. Let's run on board and just see what happened right here. Remember, he came into the race late, and there was that car spinning in the trial. You can see, the back end caught out and he was just trying to find a way to make it sit, and Van de Zandt got into him, didn't want to change lines. And also, Rob Ungelnex on the restart spun it into the tri-oval. Can we get a replay of Rob's restart? Because it was a 2 incident thing here is Rob.
Remember, Rob's car is completely destroyed from the crash, so that car might look okay on the outside, but not very drivable on the inside.
Oh, he's hit the grass.
Okay,
and,
this will be curtains for him, I'm afraid. Same for Alex, who had a very unlucky race today.
Yeah, very unlucky race for a few of these drivers. Lucas, unlucky race at the start of the race, couldn't get into the race, and he got a few laps in there, but unfortunately for Lucas, that's going to be his day, I believe. Well, late caution, and 33 laps to go now, as we're getting into crunch time. Lead is still Olsen and Spots, and Marquez and Blocker with Craig in your top 5. Drivers on new tires, drivers on older tires, and everyone got a little bit of chance to heat those tires up, but and see how they're going to perform. And for Spots, see on how Hugo likes to do his restarts. Still 9 cars on the lead lap here at Texas, and Marco, a late caution like this here at a super speedway as Texas for these Indy cars, what strategy are you going to go for?
I mean, we will start with basically 30 laps to go, or a bit more than that, so caution, quote unquote, but I mean, there is little time to play strategy games now. You need to survive the restart, and then once you can basically get yourself in a position to win, and then those final few laps work towards making that pass, knowing that the more we go into the run, the more difficult it will become to make the pass. But we saw that if you are faster, you can do it. So, I mean, Hugo showed that with good management you can make passes even deeper in the run. So we'll see. We will start not at the end of this lap. There will be one more because the lap cars will need to pit, and here they are. McNamara, Maleska, of course, was missing important bits of his car, but you know.
Well, he's just cool in the engine.
Also, the front right tire has seen better days, in my opinion.
Yes, that too. Somehow driving that car, but you know. Also, speaking of strategies and tires, this isn't like Phoenix, where the new tire is going to have a big gain on everybody else, you know, because you aren't using the tires as much as you were at Phoenix. You know, the new tires had an amazing run through the corners, and, you know, with this, you're running flat out. The tires give you a little bit of pace, but it's not eye-watering pace that you have to be on new tires. So that's the strategy that Olsen and Spots are. They get into clean air, and they just run their race. We saw Hugo extend his run and pull out a gap to Marquez legitimately, too. Like, from pit stop to pit stop, he really gained out that line and pulled out a good gap. And, you know, if we stayed green right here, Hugo Olsen would probably be even farther ahead of Marquez. But you can never put all your cards in one basket. Don't count the eggs before they hatch and all that stuff. We don't know what's gonna happen very soon. Brian Spots could get a better jump than Hugo Olsen. Andrew Marquez get a better run on Brian Spots, get that overtake, get into the draft of Hugo. We saw Hugo immediately dive down to the inside, try to break off that draft and leave the group behind him. And that car is really trimmed out right there, and it's really quick around this track. And I will not be surprised if Hugo Olsen gets free of the draft by the way he's driving.
Yes, let's see. Of course, this caution, you know, with the guys on newer tires don't like this caution because they have less laps to use those new tires.
And
but we shall see. Yeah. Oh, there is a connection trouble for Spots. Then he came back immediately, but always worrying. And it's time to go back to green flag racing, Austin.
Absolutely, as the pace car goes down low, everyone goes up high, and with 30 laps remaining, it's time to go green racing. It's a great jump by Oslin and a good jump by Spots. Marquez slipped on the jump. You see Blocker diving down to the inside immediately, trying to stay with the leaders, but Marquez really screwed the pack right there. He just fell asleep at the start, and Spots and Oslin are already 1 second ahead of Adam Blocker. The rest of the fields, they dive down to the inside, snaking, getting out of the draft right there. Adam Blocker on a charge, trying to get another great finish to his fantastic season, which has him in the primary running for his 10th iRacing IndyCar Open Championship, as Oslin and Spots are on the tails of each other. And Oslin diving down to the inside for Craig, getting onto the inside right there, but Matt Hollowell staying onto the outside, and Matt able to get the overtake on Rashad right there and defend from him.
It might be that Andrew was a bit spooked by Brian disappearing and reappearing 3 or 4 times just before the green flag, so maybe he was a bit tentative, and he had a bad restart because of that.
Indeed, that can always be the case, and when you see a blinker ahead of you, you never know where they are, and spinner, and that's Lucas into pit road. Caution will not come out for that as he's not on the racing surface. We say green, as Lucas Eichheimer tows it into his pits, and will probably enjoy the rest of this race from pit road. A very unfortunate race from start to finish for Lucas. 30 laps down, and he was just trying to get some laps back in some positions. This is Brian Spots under attack from Adam Blocker. Blocker going up high. Blocker going for turns 1 and 2. And, he's not up high a lot. He's putting a lot of pressure on Brian Spots, trying to force Brian to lift and get that spot very easily right there. Adam Blocker getting a car length up Brian Spots, and he chops the nose, letting him know who is boss right there, as he's going to chase down that 1 second gap to Hugo Oslin right there. It's crunch time very soon, as we're almost heading into 25 laps to go, as Marquez going on that outside high line, trying to get a run on Brian Spots. Spots goes up high. Here goes Marquez. Marquez goes down low, but Spots goes down low as well, following the draft of Adam Blocker. Marquez blocked very well right there.
And here we go, 25 to go, the counter has switched. We are getting close to crunch time, or maybe we are already in crunch time for this race.
We've been in crunch time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crunch time since the first lap, basically.
Yeah, for these drivers up front, it's been crunch time. There's a little bit of a unspoken rule right there when, that first caution came out. It was a little bit fairly played, but it's definitely still heated up at the front. Marquez goes down low, Spots up high, trying to get his spot back. Those newer tires down low, able to just grip the track when they need him. But here comes Spots with a great run down low on Marquez. Spots and Marquez side by side. Ooh, Spots late turn in right there. Marquez had to take evasive action. Spots not giving up his 3rd place, as here comes Marquez once more in the draft, looking for that outside line this time. Spots all over that bottom line, and Marquez going to try to do what Spots did to him. Here comes Spots up the track. Here comes Marquez on the backstretch, down low this time, and Marquez heads into 3rd place. And as they're fighting, look at Matt in 5th place. Matt wants a piece of this fight, and he could get a great run heading into turns 1 and 2 and able to snipe both of them on the back straight. As that's Brian Spots looking up high. Matt's also looking up high. He's going to have to check up right there. Avoid that dirty air and avoid that aero wash really pushing his car out wide, or pushing the car light in the front. As we got a car in the wall, that's Laura Gearhart. Unfortunately, she's going to be on the inside wall. She led a few laps today. She's off the racing surface. A very, very narrow line you have to race down there. Very narrow line on the apron. You have to get down there to avoid the caution, and luckily she is off the racing surface. There's a lot of smoke in the air, so some drivers might get a little spooked from that, but these drivers up here, these drivers heading in that battle for 3rd, Marquez, Spots, and Matt, as Laura, she gets it into the pit lane. 8 cars on the lead lap now.
Austin have been keeping an eye on the timing screen. It's been 5 straight laps that Blocker has gained on Olson.
Yeah, Adam Blocker slowly gaining on Hugo Olson. The draft and the new tires for Adam Blocker is making a slight difference right there, but it's one thing to catch up, it's another to overtake. Let's ride on board of Hugo Olson, trying to be the first European driver of this season to get a IndyCar win, and Adam Blocker slowly closing up 10-time. We can start calling him 10-time, right?
You never know with iRacing, so...
Future 10-time iRacing IndyCar champion, 9-time as of this moment, chasing down Hugo Olson. Adam Crane says he's not going to be here. As you said, pretty much handed the broadcast championship to Adam Blocker, but with this series we use the iRacing point system, so we'll let you know at the end of this championship. But the iRacing IndyCar Championship front runner Adam Blocker looking for his 10th time victory and another victory in the season right now, as he's just 3/10 behind Hugo Olson.
Getting closer and closer, Austin. Also under massive pressure from Blocker. He wants to really bring home the title with a victory. He has been, biding his time, Adam Blocker, all this race after a poor qualifying, and now
here comes
look
Adam.
at that.
He got into that sweet spot of the track, got a great launch through the corners. Unable to capitalize around the outside right here. 15 laps to go, but he is locked on target right now. Heading through turns 3 and 4, going to get another great run. Heading into the trial wall, here comes Blocker. And he's going high, heading into turns 1 and 2. Blocker up high, Olson down low. Blocker not going to run that high line. That really works in the mid-run. Olson dives down low to defend from Adam Blocker. Going to have a tight entry heading into turns 3 and 4, pressuring those tires even more. As here comes Blocker once more, getting a great run. This is going to be Blocker's best opportunity, holding that outside line once more. Adam Blocker in lane number 2, pretty much. Olson, he's got his wing and his nose side by side with Hugo, and Hugo can really hurt Adam Blocker right here. Blocker is going to have a delayed turn and getting back into the draft right now. Adam Blocker getting the run, heading into turns 1 and 2. What Hugo keeps needing to do is run that bottom lane, because that top lane has lost all of its speed right now. Adam Blocker trying to run that top lane, and you see the speed he's just lost right there. This is going to be all about positioning and runs right now. Blocker, 9-time IndyCar champion. He knows what he needs to do to try to beat Hugo Olson, as Hugo defending, trying to get that European flag onto the winner's circle right there. The driver from Stockholm trying to get into the winner's circle right now as Adam Blocker tries it once more, and he's a little bit closer this time, gets into the draft of Hugo. A late dive low can be what Adam Blocker can do right here on the back straight. He might have thought about it right there, and here he goes. We got a big crash on the back straight. Brian spots in the wall, and caution is out with 10 laps to go.
Oh, man.
Olson knows Adam Blocker at the time of caution, and Adam Blocker could, I think, either be cursing in his helmet right there, and it's a wall tap loose out of turns 1 and 2, and that's what brought the caution out. Did he drive it onto the track? Did he try driving it back into pit road and spin out?
No, the caution was already out by this point, I think. Let's go. Let's see from his on board. We'll see the lights.
Yeah, he got out and hit that wall right there. And oh yeah, when he came back onto the track, that's what brought the caution out. The lights haven't come on yet. Oh, now they're on.
I Oh, Adam Blocker is pitting.
Yeah, Blocker, late pit. He's going to go for new tires. Marquez stays out behind Hugo Oslin. This is a big move by Adam Blocker. And for the rest of the drivers in the pits. And, you know, some of the drivers might have saw this. And I've seen a few drivers head into the pit lane while everyone else is going into the pits and just go serve a drive-through. They just do a drive-through and get that transition. No one's going to try that this time, but Adam Blocker, tires and go right here. As long as everyone else is going to be Blocker, Musselman, Craig, Hollowboat will let your race off of pit road. But McMara, Michael, and Graybill, your top 10. 7 cars on the lead lap with 9 laps to go. When we go back to racing, it's going to be about 7 laps. And, ooh.
Let's explain to the viewers, we have less than 10 laps to go, so all the lap cars will be sent to the back. So even though there is a bit of cars between Blocker and Marquez, they will be all sent to the back.
Yep. All sent to the back, and, well, all the cars on the lead op all set to attack on those fresh new tires. Now remember, the fresh new tires are going to be pretty slippery on this restart. And anything can happen on this restart. We've seen so many drivers on the new tires get a little bit loose. But Wallette, Hollowbow, Craig, Musselman, Blocker, they know what to do. Marquez and Oslin staying out. Marquez, 10-lap newer tires than Oslin. He was in the situation that Adam Blocker was in. And can Marquez get a good restart and get onto Hugo right there? But Adam Blocker on those newest of tires. He is on tires that is... Oh my gosh.
Stopped on lap 85.
40 lap newer tires.
Yes.
So Adam Blocker is going to be on a noticeable difference.
And 30 laps over Andrew Marquez. Stopped on lap 94.
Yes. So Adam Blocker is going to be on noticeably newer tires and have a better speed. He can grip that inside line better. He can grip that outside line a little bit better as there is cars coming out of pit lane some more. Pace car lights are still on. And we're going to go back to racing on lap 6.
Yeah, the next lap they will send everyone to the back. I mean, everyone that's not on the lead lap will be sent to the back.
Yes.
So we start in race order. We have 7 cars on the lead lap for this restart.
Yeah, you see Laura Gearhart on that inside line right there, heading into the pit lane as, well, most of the drivers, you can just let them by or head into the pit lane and use a free stop. And lights should go out on the pace car. There they go. 1 lap to green, 6 laps loaded in the barrel right now.
What a great way.
Texas.
What a great way, Austin, to end the season.
In a Texas-style shootout. These sayings make themselves, by the way. I'm not forcing these.
Who's your pick?
Oof. You know what? I don't want to be biased towards anyone. My pick right here for the winner of this race is going to be all the fans watching from home.
I'm going with Hugo Olson.
All right, you're going to Olson?
Hmm?
I now want to fight you. I'm going to go with I'm going to have to say Adam Blocker, but I have a feeling that Blocker on those newer tires might have a little bit of hiccup, and somebody like AJ Musselman or Richard Craig can make a surprise because they're on so newer tires. They could get a run on him, but with Marquez in between them, I am not sure as they go past the No Limits Texas sign. Well, I can tell you there are going to be no limits here for these drivers. It's going to be flat out racing here to end out the season. Pace car is ended. Hugo Olson controls the fields. We go green, green, green. Here, Marquez gets a better start as Blocker looks immediately down to the inside. Blocker jumps up into second place right now. And we're back in the fight again. Blocker and Oslin in the fight for the lead. Marquez goes out wide. Oslin dives down low. 6 laps to go, and now we're going to go to 5 laps to go here. And they expect this race to come down to the wire. Blocker's going to have to make up that time. 3/10 separate them. Got to get into that draft. Use those tires to his advantage. 5 laps to go now. Blocker, Oslin, Blocker on those 40-lap-old newer tires. 40-lap newer tires. Oslin on those 40-lap older tires. You can see Marquez still defending up there in 3rd place. Oslin defending down the straight. 2/10 separate them now, heading into turns 3 and 4 into the trial once more. 4 laps to go. Here comes Blocker with a head full of steam like a locomotive, trying to hold it around the outside and take the lead on those newer tires. And Adam Blocker is going to get a run on the outside. Adam Blocker, Hugo Oslin. Blocker is going to take him around the outside with 4 laps to go. As Adam Blocker defending on the inside. Oslin taking the outside line this time, trying to get the run off the exit and get him on the back straight. But Adam Blocker on those newer tires just able to pull away even more. As Hugo on the outside line, unable to gain any more pace. He's going to get a good run. 2 laps to go now. Here comes Hugo trying to hold it around the outside once more. But Adam Blocker on that bottom line, just glued on those newer tires, able to pull out a gap throughout the corners. 2 laps to go. Hugo's going to need a big run and able to force Adam into a mistake. But Adam Blocker, 9-time IndyCar champion. The white flag is in the air. He's looking for 10. Adam Blocker leads it into 1 lap to go here at Texas. And Hugo's made a mistake. No. And that's going to promote AJ up into 2nd place. And Rashard Craig up into 3rd. And it's a big crash heading into 3 and 4. Hugo, at the cause of that, Adam Blocker takes another win here at Texas. And 10 IndyCar iRacing Open Championships. Andrew Marquez hits the wall heading to turn 3. It is a collection of cars in the oval right there. AJ Volsame comes home in 2nd place.
Hugo, at the moment coming out of 2, I heard the tire squeal in my headset.
Yeah, Lou's coming out of 1 and 2, and yeah, he tried to save it, and he did save it. He tapped the wall, but I thought he saved it right here, and it looked like everything was okay, but then I guess suspension just absolutely clips Matt right there, and that is a massive crash. Well, that's right on board of Matt, who, you know, he passed 1 car on the outside, then he gets past Matt. Oh, no. That's heartbreaking right there. Andrew Marquez, innocent party in all that. Marquez tried the gamble right there, and all the newer tire drivers able to do good. Adam Blocker burns it down here and draws a circle. I'm pretty sure there's a line next to it, and that marks number 10.
And here we go with the race results then from Texas Motor Speedway. What a fantastic season this has been for the IndyCars here on Apex Racing TV. So let's go through your race results. Adam Blocker wins the race in front of AJ Musselman and Rashad Craig. Jason Wallach finished 4th, and Hugo Olson in 5th in front of Andrew Marquez and Matt Hollibaugh. Then Zach Michael, Johnny McNamara, David Graybill, Aaron McQuarrie, Robert Mareshka III, Tim Williams, Norgert, Gilles Ribeiro, Brian Spots, Alex Van de Zandt, Rob Angelnieks. And then to round up our proceedings, we also had Lucas Heinkammer, Marco Brasil and Rodrigo Franzoni in 21st position. The lucky thing in the bad luck for the drivers involved in that mess is that we only had 7 cars left on the lead lap, so they all made it without losing too many positions. But of course it is not the way you want to end your season. So Austin, he just moved into the correct chat. So let's have a talk with let's have a talk with Adam first. What do you say?
Absolutely, and I'll leave the talk with Adam to you.
Okay, Adam Blocker, welcome to the booth, and a fantastic way to celebrate your championship, I'd say, with a fantastic race victory that really was hard fought, coming from the back and making the decisive pass at the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, first, just want to acknowledge Hugo's drive. I think he probably deserved to win the race. He was definitely faster today and knew how to manage his tires, but ultimately just made the wrong call there at the end with tire strategy. Yeah, it was really tough. We really didn't have a qualifying setup. We tried some things, but unfortunately, we just didn't put a lot of work into it. But our race car was pretty good. We found a couple things like within the last hour before the race went off, Hugo and I did, that made the car better. And ultimately, I think we had probably the best long run pace of anyone, especially once, with good management from the driver's side. And yeah, good strategy as well to first be on the fuel safe strategy. And I think we would have been 1-2 even without the last few cautions. And then, yeah, once we kind of got those last couple cautions, I just took tires and he didn't. That was the difference.
Were you surprised? Yes, talking about Hugo, because not only twice he didn't stop towards the end of the race whilst you stopped. So, were you surprised that both times he didn't go for the pit? Of course, once yes, but also the second time it was a bit confusing. But especially that second time, because even though that was when he was in the lead, so maybe damned if you do, damned if you don't. But really, it especially the first time, that was when it really surprised me when he didn't go for the stop in the previous caution.
Yeah, the first time I think was fine because there wasn't that much of a tire difference. It was maybe 10 laps, and he was looking after his tires really well, and it was really difficult to pass the leader. So I think that was the right call for him. But then the second time, obviously, it didn't hold up. He still should have finished second without the last lap mistake, which was unfortunate. But
it was, of course, a winning season for you. What was your favorite moment in these 12 weeks?
Probably, one of the best moments was Phil and I's race at Zandvoort. It was a really good finish for me, but just really clean race overall. But really just, the general quality of the series, like all these races have been generally pretty clean. Maybe tonight we had a couple extra yellows more than normal, but it's definitely been a really good season. Several moments that, iRacing has picked out as like top 10 moments, like Alexis and Adriano at Phoenix as well, was really cool. So yeah, just several good close racing moments, and even tonight lots of good respectful racing when I was making my way up through the pack, and for the lead also, Rob and Andrew were also pretty strong tonight. So
well, congratulations, Adam. We'll of course have to wait for iRacing. We know how it is, but pretty much given that you have won the title. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody at Powerslide for the effort throughout the season to make this possible. Good to get the title back in Powerslide's hands, so that's really cool. I just want to thank everybody for the competition throughout the season, and hope to see everybody next season.
Thank you very much, and enjoy the celebration, and we'll catch you very, very soon.
Yep, see ya.
And Austin is standing by with AJ, I think.
Yes, I am standing by with AJ right here. AJ, surprise second place finish. You went into the pits on those newer tires. You restarted in fourth place and you came home in second. Walk us through those final 6 laps.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, good race tonight. I knew I was really good on the short run, so taking tires would be my best option there. It was really important to get a good launch, not spin the tires, which is so easy to do here. And I was curious how Marquez was going to be on the old rubber. I had a feeling I can get him, but then when the doors opened there with Hugo having his issue, I was like, really? Are you serious?
Yeah, it certainly fell into your lap right there on the last lap. And really, are you serious is a perfect way to sum up that feeling of having that spot given to you. But throughout the season, how would you sum it up?
Yeah, I haven't made that many appearances this season. I've been having some fun over on the fixed side of things, but whenever you're here in Indy Open, the level of competition is so good and everyone races so clean. When there is a wreck, usually it's just because somebody lost control, just pushing a little bit too hard. It's nothing, egregious by anybody. So I race here to get better because I want to be one of the best. So you got to race with the best, to get better yourself. So I might finish, 9th to 11th half the time, but I'm still learning a lot. Every race. I've only been on here for about a year and a half, so learning more each season, and I'm looking forward to next season. I've been watching all the races, guys. It's been fun watching your broadcasts. So thank you for what you did this season.
And thank you for always showing up. And yes, racing to be the best, you always got to race with the best. And I'm pretty sure that's a message a lot of aspiring iRacers should live by.
Yeah, well, again, thank you for the broadcast. I look forward to watching this one. It was a great race. Congrats to Blocker for the win. But yeah, thanks again, guys.
And thank you for putting on a great show out there, AJ, as Marco is standing by with Jason.
Yes, Jason Wallet is here with us. And Jason, welcome to the booth. First of all, nice to have you here for this final race of the season. So let's go on that last lap. You're driving there, just bringing the car home, thinking about that, and then disaster in front of you.
Hollabaugh got me on the high side. A strategy I've been running like the entire race for passing people, and then I'm sorry, is the mic too loud?
No, perfect.
Oh, okay. Anyways, he passed me, then coming to the backstretch, we both noticed Hugo and Marquez going slow, so the two of us kind of scrambled to get around them. I hung to the bottom, and then, right in front of me, Hugo gets up into Hollabaugh, and they get into Marquez. Those three tangle up, and then I meant to slip by them on the bottom comfortably, and managed to get fourth. So, pretty happy about that finish. Honestly, thought I could have fought the leaders a lot more if I hadn't. I probably could have fought the leaders harder on that final restart if I hadn't blown the tires on that first green flag run.
Jason, it was of course a long season, all 12 days. So basically, I think you did every race, if I'm not mistaken. How was it? How do you rate your season after all these 12 weeks?
Had its ups and downs. I mean, this was obviously an up managing to get fourth position here in the top split and managed to fight in the top 10 all race long. And although I did have a few bad races where, Red Buller had tech issues take me out, and the same general issue is at Zandvoort, and I'd have to look at some of my other race results to see what happened there, but in general it feels like the same thing. Mix of highs and lows and some in-betweens. All in all, still a pretty fun season and pretty good series to be in.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure for us to have you here, Jason, and racing with us and in the booth with us tonight for the final round. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank, sponsors, friends, shoutouts? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Mom, Dad, thanks for paying for all my sim racing stuff. Love you guys.
Amazing. Thank you, Jason. That was amazing. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
That was a very sincere thanks from Jason, and let's be honest, especially when you're a younger sim racer, you have to start somewhere. Parents are always there. Absolutely. They bought my first wheel, so
hey, they bought my first wheel too, so I'm in that same boat. I'll always thank your mom and dad when you start out younger, and everything just works out just fine. And, working out just fine has been pretty much how it was for Adam Blocker this season. 10 championships. Can you believe that?
That's a fantastic result, and we always talk about IndyCar and how much we like it. It's especially because it really puts the drivers in a position where they have to contend with so many different styles of racing. There's not only road and oval, but there's also short track, medium, intermediate, super speedway. You have the street course circuits. You have the modern grade 1 F1 style circuits. You have the American, North American classics, which are much more unforgiving. So it's a compilation of everything that motorsport on the asphalt side can throw at you. So if you win this championship, you can be sure you are one of the best. So it's always great. That's why we love IndyCar. And let me tell you, it has been an absolute honor and a privilege to bring you this season here on Apex Racing TV. And thank you for putting your trust in us, for bringing you these 12 weeks of the season. Let me also say a big thanks to everyone who's helped us in producing this broadcast. Of course, Lee Thompson behind the scenes, he's been instrumental in setting up this beautiful overlay that's been customized for IndyCar. Scott Rankin, who was with us at the very beginning of the championship, and of course the guy who will bring us out of this broadcast, Austin, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Marco, and thank you everyone for joining us here for honestly my favorite series in all of iRacing and the world, the iRacing IndyCar series here from Texas. Thank you everyone for joining us here for Season 4 of 2021, and we'll see y'all in 2022 in some way or another. I've been joined by Marco Bobanera, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.